Welcome to the IoT podcast show. I'm your host, Tom White. Today, we are joined by Mika Tienhaara. Mika is the CEO of Rocsole. Rocsole is a leading smart process imaging company focused within the oil and gas industry. Mika is also a prominent thought leader within the IoT space, notable in scaling up varying businesses. Mika, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Thank you for having me, Tom.
You're very welcome. And Mike, what I say, what a wonderful background you have there, Mika, as well. It looks like you're in some form of party.
Yeah, it's a bit bubbly here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Very good. Mika, so I know a little bit about yourself and obviously what your business does, but for the benefit of our listeners and our viewers, could you kick off by just explaining what your background is in IoT?
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. You know, I started off many hundred years ago in automotive industry with automation and robotics, etc. And let's say that was more like the industry 3.0. And later on, I've been working with, let's say, model factories for industry 4.0, where you have the IoT, the connectivity, machines talking to each other. So that has kind of been my progress throughout the industry. But my babies in terms of businesses have come in the oil and gas industry. And there I've seen the lack of, let's say, good relevant data they're behind on digitalization and automation. So what we are doing here is actually to bring IoT and connectivity from critical process sources in order to enable a better data analytics and production optimization solutions.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you've come obviously from automotive into oil and gas, which is obviously quite synonymous with where you are in the world, right? There's a lot of businesses obviously involved within that. Could you explain a little bit about how Rocsole operates and the sort of innovative solutions that you're providing for your customers?
Yeah, so let's go into oil and gas and the upstream processing side of it, which is when you actually from production, you get gas, the liquids of oil and water, as well as you can have solids production. So this is much upstream from before you get your petrol to your car. So what happens there is actually you want to separate unmixable liquids, where you have a blend of these liquids with oil and water, as well as they form emulsions then. But then when you have sensor units in situ, meaning active sensing, typically or many times you get from this emulsion or goo in a sense, because you have all the solids and things like that. So they actually accumulate on sensor surfaces, unwanted accumulation, meaning that you get a layer, a fouling, which prevents data to be, let's say, recorded and transmitted. So we have come up with very robust and reliable sensor units, which read through that type of fouling layers. So we see beyond that. And that means that from such a critical process as the, let's say, separation area, we have continuous critical data 24/7. And based on this, we have also the, let's say, the image recognition, talking about tomography and high resolution solutions of that, where we can then do a very, I would say, forensic analytics of what kind of matters you have in the flow. This translates to actually that you can tune your operations much better. You can get a better product quality. Then we talk about the gas, the oil, the water, and of course, reduce the total costs, operating costs. Yeah. This is critical.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I completely understand. And I think for in a traditional sense, oil and gas is largely not been known for its sort of digitization really as an industry, and we're now seeing a lot more focus around sustainability and the crucial role of sustainability in the oil and gas industry. For Rocsole, the solution that you have, particularly using things like tomographic technology, how does that work in creating a more sustainable solution for the industry, Mika?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Tom. And first of all, you think that oil and gas and being an, let's say, coming with new technology, is that a good combination? I think definitely yes, because as you said, oil and gas is lagging behind in terms of digitalization. There's been a lot of, let's say, manual work offline and not being quantified in real time, because it's also very difficult. The variability between oil fields is huge, and the let's say conditions can vary a lot. So what we have been seeing, that of course there's a huge waste in terms of energy spent to produce. The facilities are inefficient. So applying this type of solutions that we have and the technology, we can actually, let's say, increase the energy efficiency. You can, for instance, then reduce the amount of chemicals used or the heat, and of course also handle or doing the process control in that sense that you get the best quality out with the minimum effort. So that is quite critical. And of course, we see also from, let's say, when you go to the emission and pollution control, by having better instrumentation and real-time data, you can control, monitor, and mitigate that better. But actually, I would like to point out that this is not just for the oil and gas industry. You know, our type of sensors and technology can be utilized in multi-industry, anywhere where you have some kind of, let's say, process flow. And in our, let's say, daily digitalized world, where we use all the phones, etc., and we ask more from the chips, the semiconductors, their yield has to be higher and higher, more bandwidth, more storage space, etc. So semiconductor industry and the production is actually applying more aggressive chemicals to improve that semiconductor performance. What this actually results in is that you get toxic pollution and very rapid deposit buildup in exhaust ducts. And so that's the same problem again. If you go in with monitoring tools like we have, you can actually mitigate that or enable that. So it's not just oil and gas. So we think about, let's say, of course, providing or being an enabler for more affordable and cleaner energy.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's a very pressing subject right now in the world, isn't it? And I think, Mika, what's your opinion on this? There's a lot more players coming to the market at the moment, innovating, at a really accelerated rate within AI and IoT. What are the biggest challenges, in your view, for companies looking to adopt AI and IoT initiatives in the coming years?
Yeah, I see a lot of examples and talk with peers also, innovators coming with AI, etc. And let's say in oil and gas, like I mentioned, the variability is huge. So that might also cause some hurdles that you come to a, let's say, piloting case, but how to scale up then? That's always a bit tricky. And I think there's many who think they come with smart solutions and they go to one oil company or energy company, and then you have a successful pilot there and you knock on the door to the next one and they say, well, we didn't develop or validate that, so you have to start from all over with us. And I think we have to, as a community in the oil and gas industry, also open up more, open innovation, collaboration. And I see a lot of tendencies now that it's moving that way. Tech companies working directly with the operators. And I think that's the melody for the future.
Yeah. That's I think from our point of view, from people that we've had on the show, people are saying similar things. So I completely agree with you. Just want to apologize. The lights have turned off in my office. I'm the only one here. So when I so when
late night show.
So when I'm filming a podcast or what have you, I'm not walking around, so the motion sensors turn off. So for anyone that's just noticed that the lights have turned off, then I do apologize. Mika, you're obviously a serial entrepreneur and intrapreneur, right? So you've got a lot of experience in scaling up companies, often from scratch. Slightly separate question here compared to IoT, but in your view, what are the key indicators that entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs can really take home as a key enabler for growth? What would you say were the top three things that people should be mindful of when trying to scale their businesses?
Yeah, of course. I think it's crucial or very critical to have the right team. You need to have a team that can perform, that is, let's say, resilient, have a playbook or experience with it, because it's a huge effort to scale up. And then, of course, don't just fall in love with your own product. You have to understand what is the business value for the customers. So you have to translate your value proposition into business value for customers. And I would say it's hard work and a bit of luck too.
Yeah.
Into that mixture.
Yeah, but I think you create your own luck, don't you? Within this,
absolutely.
And focusing in the right area, making quick decisions, and also having the agility to turn. I think as a scale-up business quickly is something that's really important, especially this year, Mika. Yeah. Things have been tough for everyone. I don't think there's anyone that has been unaffected because of the whole chain of events that have happened. So I think it's important that people can change their businesses quite quickly when they need to, right? So for me, that's really, really important. Lastly, really keen to hear where you might be going with Rocsole in the future, and what that means for the oil and gas industry. We have a lot of people talking about alternative power and what have you. I'm keen to understand where you are going with Rocsole, what this means for oil and gas, and what we can expect to see over the coming years.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Let me just tie back to your a comment to your last question there. I think also, let's say, being dynamic, learning from your failures. You will fail with any venture in that sense, but take that as a learning point and pivot, adapt, move forward, because you get better in that way.
So no mistakes, just lessons, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think where we are with Rocsole, and our management team, I mean, we've done several exits, and we are utilizing our capabilities in terms of scaling up our business now. So that's the path we're on. We're growing. We've had a record year this year, 2020.
Congratulations.
And thank you. It's been hard work, as always, but we are continuing to grow. And I think our purpose here is to build a really successful company, not just in oil and gas, various applications there, but also go into multi-industry solution with this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would be great to see in the future. It'd be great to see where you go. I think, with you at the helm, Mika, I'm sure there'll be success. So good luck to you. You mentioned as well at the start of this, you're off to America now, or you're off to doing something in America, or?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Tom. We're I'm not taking my Christmas leave yet. Still have one pitch event in New York today, where we are one of the emerging tech companies pitching at that event with 400 investors. So really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, yeah, it goes without saying, good luck with that, and I'm sure it would be well received. Mika, thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely having you on the show, and really insightful to understand a bit more about Rocsole and what you're looking to achieve with the business. Would love to have you back on in the future to see where you've got to and how the business has evolved since the last time that you've spoken. So thank you so much for your time.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Tom.
You're very welcome.